How's it going, everybody? This is Dean Rojas with Epidemic Sound, and today we're going to be talking about how to hide your jump cuts. So this is a jump cut. Basically, a jump cut is an abrupt transition between scenes without a transition. Jump cuts are used in cinema a lot, and when they are used intentionally, then they can really create a compelling scene. So jump cuts are totally fine for YouTube. I use them in these videos, I use them in my own videos, I use them all the time. Like right now, this is a jump cut, this is a transition of me talking. But if you use these so often that it's just gonna be a jumbled mess of cut footage, then it's gonna become really distracting and your viewers are not going to stay engaged. So I shoot a lot of professional interviews, and what I'm dealing with is a lot of people that are uncomfortable in front of the camera and don't get across what they want to say exactly. So it's my job as the editor to make it look fluid, to make it look like they're just having one long conversation, one big sentence, but when in actuality it's being cut together, and we're gonna hide those cuts with B-roll. So B-roll is the supplemental footage that you'll put over your main video. We have a video all about B-roll and how to get good creative B-roll shots. Go check that out. It's pretty awesome. When I'm shooting interviews, a couple of B-roll techniques that I'll use is I'll wait till the interview has finished, and then I'll tell the subject to have a conversation with the producer, and then I'll record their hands, I'll record their eyes, I'll record something that's on their shirt, maybe a name tag or something, and get that motion of them kind of moving along with the conversation, but it's actually a second shoot that I'm doing after the interview. So a lot of the times that I'm trying to hide these cuts with B-roll, I won't have the correct B-roll to use for what they're saying, and what I'll do is I'm actually going to go in post and create a second camera effect. So when I'm shooting interviews, I'm shooting in 4K, but I'm exporting on a 1920 by 1080 timeline. This is because when I take it into post, I'm going to hide these jump cuts by scaling in and keyframing motion so it looks like it's a second camera and it looks like it's on a slider.
To get this effect, where we're gonna start is we're gonna click on our clip and head over to our trusty effects panel. First thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna scale in the clip and we're gonna position it to get the framing right. Get enough headroom, make sure it looks normal. So that looks about right. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna click on this little stopwatch next to position. I'm gonna drag that keyframe over here for now, and since the stopwatch is already clicked, whatever I do now is gonna create another keyframe. So I'm just gonna drag this over and position it towards the left. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna grab the first keyframe and drag it all the way to the beginning of the clip to where it snaps. And then I'm gonna do the same with the other keyframe, except I'm gonna put it at the end until it snaps. So this works with this short clip, but if you have a longer clip, then you're probably gonna wanna make it a little bit more drastic with the position and how far you move it. Play around with it, you'll get it.
I use that all the time. I'm using it right now. As you can tell, I'm doing that. Normally when I'm shooting interviews, I'll bring my camera back a little bit just to get a little bit more room to play with. So I have this freedom to punch in as much as possible, so it looks like two different cameras rather than just a tiny abrupt change in scale. So the slider effect won't really work if their audio is too jumbled, and you're gonna have to frankenbite all of their sound bites, which basically means that you're gonna be stitching together that audio to create a sentence out of what they said to get what you want them to say. These talking head interviews that I'm shooting can get very boring if there's not enough compelling B-roll, if there's not transitions. If it's just somebody talking directly into a camera for about 5 minutes, it's probably gonna lose your interest if there's just cuts here and there and it's not put together super well. So make sure to get good B-roll, and if you're talking to the camera, maybe practice a little bit to get your sentences flowing correctly, and you got it. Keep killing it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, leave a comment, hit that notification bell, subscribe, follow me on my personal channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Keep killing it.